Welcome back to Fire and Water Cooking. I am Darren, of course, and as you can see, we're going to do a comparison today. Two round flat top griddles. One is super duper expensive. One of them is a lot cheaper. They both have the similar shape, similar size, cooking space, but we're going to see which one or which is better, which is cheaper, which the similarities and the total differences in these two flat top grills. Alright guys, I'll be back. We got the Cuisinart versus the Evo flat top.
Smoking, grilling, getting hot and hotter, sous vide and chilling from fire and water.
Alright guys, so let's take a look at these here side by side. As you can tell, they're about the same size. They are 30-inch cooktops on each one of these. I would say the added shelves on the Cuisinart are actually a slight benefit. They do fold down, but they are kind of flimsy. They won't fit a whole lot of stuff on them, but these are really thin sheet metal. They may even be aluminum. I know that the lid here is aluminum. It is super light, and it does its job, what it's supposed to do. But like I said, it is aluminum, so it really doesn't hold heat as well as the Evo. Now the Evo, this whole thing is 100% 304 thick gauge stainless steel. So it is super heavy. This thing is about 180 pounds, and every part that's exposed here is 304 stainless steel. The griddle itself is high carbon steel, so it is thick. This griddle itself weighs a good 60 pounds, almost, maybe 70 pounds, whereas the Cuisinart, even though it's the same size, it's a much thinner griddle. And they both let the top hang, which is good. It kind of blocks wind. But this being so thin, A, means it's not going to last as long, but B, it's really a lot harder to control the heat on this one. I'm going to show you pictures in a minute of both of these griddles burners so you can see the difference in the size and the quality of them. But as you can tell here, like I said, this one it's pretty much really super thick, and it's a lot easier to control the temperature because this one is so thin that I tried to have this thing be like at medium to medium high, medium low, and it pretty much was either really, really hot or just right at medium. I could never get it down very low. This has three burners, so it's got three zones here. But since this cooktop is so thin, I had a really hard time trying to make one side hotter and one side cooler because it would heat up the entire cook surface. This one, heats up in the middle here and then on the side. And since it's a thicker cooktop, it's actually a lot easier to control the heat on the outside and the inside. My biggest issue, like I said, with this is trying to control that heat, trying to get a medium type heat on here or even a lower type heat without it heating up the entire cook surface. It was either cooked really, really hot or medium. It really was no in between. If anything, I would have to shut this burner off over here all the way to make this a lower temperature because it would still be hot. All right, guys, so here's the burners for the Cuisinart, and as you can tell, that middle burner is double the size of the other two, so that's another reason why it was hard to keep these the heat controlled on the flat top. Besides it being so thin, it was just really hard to control the heat on that one. Compare that to the burner on the Evo. Much thicker, much bigger burner. Actually, this is a 3-year-old burner, so it actually still works really, really well. And holds the heat so much better. And you can tell, since there is a good space between the center one and the outer one, it's a lot easier to control the temperature. And the cooktop being much thicker also helps as well. Like I said before, they both have these kind of grease troughs here that catch all the grease from all around here. This one here, it's made out of painted aluminum, and it's really hard to keep this clean. Um, I pretty much have to use oven cleaner to keep this clean, and it really is hard at that. The whole body of this is aluminum. The front of this is super thin aluminum. These high, medium, and low indicators were actually just painted on, or they're plastic on. So if you can tell here, when I cleaned this thing the second time, those things just peeled right off. These are super light plastic knobs, and they have an issue sometimes actually getting back into place. They have an automatic um, igniter. When you turn it on, it automatically lights. The Evo has a press button, separate press button igniter underneath. You turn your knob to the light where it says light, then you press the button down here to ignite the grill. Works every single time. I've had issues with this one where these two outer burners wouldn't light, but I'd have to light the center burner and it would light all of them. So, like I said, one of my big concerns with this one, and don't get me wrong, it works okay, is the overall um, durability of it, because it is so thin. It's light. It's very thin metal down here. It's aluminum up here, and it's aluminum here. The lid's aluminum, and it's a very thin cooktop, hard to control the heat. Now the Evo, huge price difference, but a huge quality difference as well. Thick, uh, 304 stainless steel everywhere. So it's got really big, thick wheels that keep this thing in place. It's super heavy, so when you're cooking on it, you're moving around, this thing won't move. One of the issues I had with the Cuisinart is that wood, since those wheels, they lock, but since the whole unit itself is so light, it would move around. If I'm cooking stir fry or trying to flip a smash burger and it was kind of stuck a little bit to the cooktop, it would move that whole unit over. So since it's so lightweight, it would move around a lot. This one won't. Like I said, the cooktop is going to last a lot longer because it's thicker metal. It's not going to rust if you keep it up. The stainless steel top actually holds heat in better, so you can actually use this to roast and do other cooking besides just doing stir fries and burgers, because you can use this as an oven because of that thick top as well. This actually comes off of the unit. You can take this whole piece off and clean it, making it a lot easier to clean as well. This you can't. You can take off the cooktop, but you can't take this off, so you're pretty much stuck trying to clean that the way it is. One of my biggest issues, and I'm going to show you, try to get up close and show you this, because a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, that's not big of an issue, but to me it was, because you see where the grease cup is here, and all the grease would kind of come here. But if you see this little gap, what would happen is the grease would come here and go through here and actually just come right in this little gap and go and hit the floor. It would miss the cup altogether, and it would end up running down outside, running down this leg and pulling up on the ground. They have this gap here for some reason that it's even kind of cut out. It looks like it was on purpose, but the grease would actually come in and get inside that and get all over the floor, which kind of defeats the purpose of having your grease catcher right there. So it was always a big problem for me there.
All right, guys, I thought I'd get you a close up picture so you can see what I'm talking about. So the grease would come off of the griddle and actually go down into that little indentation there, and then it would skip that whole cup and go right down the leg and puddle up on the floor. Had it happen many, many times.
The like I said, it is nice having the shelves. They do work, but they are very thin, and I would end up catching myself on these little hangers because they just kind of poke out, and if I walk by, it would snag my pocket and stuff on them. But I could live without them. They don't really benefit too much. Like I said, you can put a couple pans and stuff on them, but they're very flimsy. I like the door that covers up the um, propane tank, but like I said, it makes it kind of harder to get down in there, turn it on and off. One of the things I did not like about the Cuisinart is controlling the temperature, but also a lot of times the governor on the propane line would make it so it wouldn't let a lot of the gas out. So I'd end up having to shut the gas off, or actually, yeah, shut the burners off, close the gas, open up the line more, take the line off the tank, put it back on, and then turn it on while the knobs were open fully, and try to get it to start so I can get that full heat coming out of the burners. So the governor on the propane line was really kind of hard to maneuver a lot of times, but I got around it. I haven't had that issue at all with the Evo yet. I'm hoping I won't. But like I said, the biggest difference in these, solid stainless steel all around. It's not going to rust. It's going to last a long time. The cooktop is a lot more solid. Everything is more built better, solid, retains heat better, easier to control the heat. I like the setup where the burners on the outside and the inside. It's much better to control, get different cooking zones than the way the Cuisinart is set up. Both of them are round griddles. Is about it. The quality is 100% different on the Evo, but then again, you're paying for it. You're paying for super thick 304 stainless. You're paying for something that's going to last you 20 plus years, if not more. You're paying for all the upgraded everything. Literally, you can clean this up with a little bit of Barkeeper's Friend. It'll look brand new. Same with the cooktop. Since it is so thick, you're going to have better overall cooking experience because you're going to be able to control the temperature a lot better. The burners themselves are actually a lot better because they allow you to have that flame adjusted. Where I've always had a problem with the Cuisinart adjusting that flame. A lot of it is to do with the size and the thickness of the cooktop, but also some of it is to do with those knobs. They're kind of chintzy, and it really is hard to control the flame on those. So there you have it, guys. I have both of these, so I'm actually selling the Cuisinart. I've had Blackstones. I've had Camp Chefs. I would say the Cuisinart is probably comparable more with the Blackstones and the Camp Chefs. Um, I like the round shape better than the square or the rectangle for sure. But the overall quality and stability of the Evo, if you can afford it, guys, that's the way to go. Like I said, it's going to last you a super long time, and it's going to have a really strong resale value as well. All right. If you have any questions, post them below. Let me know if you have the Cuisinart. Let me know if you have the Evo. Let me see your thoughts on either one of those. But like I said, both of these are going to be griddles. Okay, this one you can, if it's in your budget, you're going to be able to try to figure it out just like you would any other uh, mass market type griddle. And then if you can afford it and you're looking to build a high end outdoor kitchen, the Evo is the way to go. If you're looking for something that's going to last forever, just like a higher end smoker, guys, if you're in the market to buy a $4,000 or $5,000 smoker or grill, the Evo is going to be in that class. If you're a Home Depot shopper or a Walmart shopper, is that where you get your equipment? The Cuisinart is what you're going to be looking for. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Check out Fire and Water Cooking Edible Creations down below. I got links to both of these below on Amazon. And like I said, if the one's going to fit your budget, pick it up. The other one is more to your liking, or you're looking for something that's going to last for a long time, check out the Evo. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.